Hello, my name is Tori. This is Tools, and I'm going to quickly tell you about the books that I read / didn't finish in June. So the first book I read was Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese. It is the first in a series for the Bergman brothers. It is basically a romance story set during college / university, but to be honest, the characters didn't really have college attitudes. They seemed older to me. So there are two people, and I don't remember their names whatsoever. I'll just look that up. She's purring. First we have Willa, who plays soccer and has a mum and no dad for some reason. And then we have Ryder, who has like a million brothers and also is deaf. So they meet in class and it's kind of enemies to lovers because they get paired for a class project, and she thinks that he's rude to her because he can't hear her, so he ignores her question, and it goes from there. It kind of is good at the beginning. Like at the beginning I was like, wow, I found like a really good series. I'm gonna read like all of the books in this series. And then I got like halfway to 3/4 through and I was like, oh, this isn't like as good as the first part was. So at the beginning they have like a lot of chemistry and it's still like feisty with each other, even though like they could have easily just gone straight to being friends, but they somehow keep like the tension. But then a lot of their stuff is just based off miscommunication, which is annoying, and they don't actually have a real reason to not like each other. The guy Ryder gets like some kind of hearing implants, and it could be like a massive turning point in the story, but it kind of just happens behind the scenes, and like he doesn't even tell her, and then she gets mad at him for not telling her about his surgery. So then he can hear and communicate with everyone normally, and it kind of takes away like anything special in their relationship. It's like good for him, but like that was pretty much his only character trait, was the fact that he had a disability and couldn't hear. And so once they don't have like this special way of communicating with each other, because he's the only one that he bothers trying to talk to because he like it's such a difficulty for him. Once you don't have that anymore, it's like their relationship doesn't really have anything special. And then like the plot just completely twists to be all about her mum, who's been sick like this entire time. Plot twist, her doctor is Ryder's dad, which was very predictable and was like so obvious that that was coming, and then like he hides that from her, which is dumb. And so she obviously gets mad about that, and then they don't talk to each other for ages while her mum dies of cancer. But like that sounds like it should be sad, but I did not care at all. Like I had no emotional investment in this woman dying, and then so I didn't really have emotional investment in the relationship either, because they're both just being idiots. And then so I finished that sometime in June, and I forgot to even enter it on Goodreads because it was so forgettable. I would give it like maybe 3 stars. Like it's readable, and I had a good time like at the beginning, and it did have some good like spice scenes, if that's what you would like to call it. But apart from that, like it's kind of not worth it at the end. The next book I read was the second book in the series of the Bergman brothers, which is Always Only You, which is about Ryder's brother, who is a hockey player. His name is Ren, and then the female and the woman in the story is Frankie, and she's the social media coordinator for the hockey team. I got 45% the way through this before I just stopped reading it because I was bored. He's a hockey player, so he's super hot and ripped and whatever, and she has some kind of physical disability, so she needs a cane, and she lives by herself, but then her house gets broken into, so she doesn't want to go home when they get back from their hockey thing, so she kind of moves in with him for a bit with her dog, and then they're basically cohabitating together, and he's like, oh my god, I'm in love with her, how do I tell her? And she's like, wow, he's so hot, he's never gonna like me. That's pretty much all that happened until I got 45% of the way through, which is like halfway through and half of the book, and nothing's happening, and I didn't care at all about the characters, so I stopped reading it. So I wouldn't recommend that you read any of the Bergman Brothers series because it was boring and there was like no chemistry, and it's just like when two characters are so obviously in love with each other, it's like, what is the point of reading this? So don't finish it. The third book I read / second book I didn't finish was Girl Gone Viral by Alicia Ray. So this is, I also have to look up these people's names because I didn't write that down. Girl Gone Viral makes it sound like it's going to be an interesting story and an interesting way to go viral, but it's not. I thought this could be good because I've read the first book in the series like unknowingly, The Right Swipe. I rated that 4 stars even though I don't remember it being that good, but apparently I enjoyed it. So I kind of had high expectations that I would enjoy Girl Gone Viral. It is about Katrina and Jazz. So Katrina has anxiety, so has issues leaving the house. She's a widow to someone who is really rich, and because of him being really rich it means that she has bodyguards. They met because she was like modeling and her parents were manipulating her and abusing her in the modeling position, so this guy came in and like saved her from that and married her, and it was just like a marriage of rescue, and then he died and it was sad and she misses him, and now still has a bodyguard. And well, I don't get, like the whole premise is just not plausible because I don't understand why she has a bodyguard. Why is she important enough to have a bodyguard? She's not a celebrity, no one knows who she is, she just has a lot of money, and she's been with this bodyguard like for years and years and years, and she has a massive crush on him. Surprise, surprise. And she goes viral, as the title would suggest, except for the fact that it's like not viral at all. Like she's at a cafe and a guy comes and talks to her, and another member in the cafe takes a photo of them and puts it on Twitter and it's like, OMG, meet cute, they're falling in love. And then that tweet goes viral and you can't even see that it's her in the photo properly, but it's just like so implausible that people on Twitter would care about that and that counts as her going viral. So like that's happening, and she literally leaves town. Like Jazz's idea, I need to hurry up because the battery is flashing. Jazz suggests that they leave to his family cottage in the middle of nowhere. She agrees because she wants to escape, and so they go there and they're there for a couple days, and I stopped reading at 55%, and I stopped because I was bored. It was starting to go into his like family background, and I didn't care about him at all, and I didn't care about his background, and I didn't care if they ended up together, so I stopped reading it. I just thought that the reason of her going viral was not plausible or believable, and then they were talking about the lady who posted the photo and the guy in the photo going on a talk show and talking about how romantic it was, and I'm like, that what talk show would ever invite people on like that just from some random Twitter photo, not even knowing who the girl is, and the girl hasn't come out and said who she is. So I thought that was stupid and I just stopped reading it because of that. Those are all the books I read in June. It was a terrible reading month because everything sucked and was boring, and they were just like boring rom-coms and so typical and what's the word, cliche. So I wouldn't recommend that you read any of the books that I read in June. Thank you for watching my video. That's Slinky.